Well, hello and welcome to the Shifts and Pucks News Pack for Tuesday, October the 25th. You can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. It'll be Sean and Tyler tonight talking about the Vancouver Canucks as they get ready for Seattle on Thursday, yet to come away with a win this season. We'll touch on them in a little bit here on the podcast here, so we'll see what that is like. And then on Thursday, we'll be talking Flames. Matt DeBoard from the Fireside Chat will be joining. We'll be working on getting some other people talking about the Flames, as they have a quiet week in terms of the schedule. They only have 2 games this week. They are playing tonight against Pittsburgh and then Saturday night at home, round 2 of the Battle of Alberta. So that's what's going on there. Let's start with the Flames because they are playing tonight. We'll get to the Canucks after that. For the Flames, looks like they're running the same lines that they have been all the last little bit here. So we've got, you got your Lindholm, Huberdeau, Toffoli line. It's the you got Kadri, Dubé, Mangiapane, Backlund, Coleman, Lewis, Rooney, Lucic, Ritchie, Uyghur and Tanev, Hannafin and Henderson, Sidorov and Stone, and Jacob Markstrom gets the start tonight. Now, that's leaving some interesting questions because of Daryl's comment about Vladar getting once a week. Games once a week. Does that mean Vladar plays against Edmonton on Saturday, or do we go with C. Markstrom the next 2 games? So that just leaves that question interestingly up there. I would imagine we're going to get Markstrom the rest of the week, and we'll probably see Vladar a little bit more in this November. Sorry, so Flames coming in with the record of 0-1. No skate for the Penguins. They came off the game yesterday against the Edmonton Oilers. Shut McDavid down. McDavid did not get a point, but Draisaitl got 3. The Oilers were down by 2 early and came back and won 6-3. So just from the Oilers' perspective here, we'll just quickly touch on them. That's a mature win for the Oilers. That's a growing moment for the Oilers. You win a game without McDavid. Now hasn't scored a point in 2 games. Of course, they were shut out on Saturday against St. Louis, and then you have last night. But you're still able to find a way to win. You got solid enough goaltending from Jack Campbell. You got, uh, you know, I've been one that's been a little lower on Leon Draisaitl, but ever since he said that pissy comment to Jim Matheson, his game has completely grown. Played a one leg in the playoffs last year, dominated, now kind of taking charge again. Think it, hard to. Leon Draisaitl has made some tremendous strides. I'm not saying that he's never been a terrible player, but he's certainly come a long way in that all-around game. So that is where the Oilers are at. The Pens, that was their first regulation loss of the season last night. Tristan Jarry played, of course, in his junior hometown where we won a Memorial Cup at Edmonton. Would imagine and speculate that Casey DeSmith will get the start tonight for the Penguins. That is what's going on there. So the Flames, Penguins tonight, and just looking quickly at the stats for both of these teams in terms of points here. For the Flames, leading the way is in the points category. You may be surprised to learn this, but that's Rasmus Andersson. He has 6 points on the year for the Flames. Time with Kadri for the lead. For the Penguins, you've got for the Penguins leading the way, of course, is Sidney Crosby, 11 points. You keep thinking that Crosby, it's the final swan song, but he continues to do it and continues to play at a high level. So Sidney Crosby leading the way for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So that's what's going on there. 2 good teams 4-1-1 are the Penguins, 4-1 are the Flames. Should be a good game tonight at the Saddle Dome. Penguins, Flames. So looking forward to that. Another rough night in Vancouver. The Carolina Hurricanes, quite frankly, the score was 3-2. Hurricanes and Vancouver got tied in heading into the third period, and yeah, it's just another one of those games where the Canucks found a way to lose, Hurricanes find a way to win. Hard. It's hard to talk about in a lot of ways. I feel like it's a bit of a rather lather rinse repeat situation with Vancouver right now overall. But Carolina coming away with the 3-2 win. Freddie Anderson comes away with the win, making 15 saves. The Hurricanes outshot Vancouver 39-16. It was pretty much all Vancouver or all Carolina all the time. At one point, the shots in the second period or the third period, Carolina outshot Vancouver 10-2. You got Svechnikov got a power play goal. Aho, Jesper Fast scored in the third and the first 87 seconds. Aho at 50 seconds. Fast at 127. JT Miller gets both of the goals for the Canucks, who are without Quinn Hughes, who was placed on IR, without Brock Besser, without Travis Dermott. So, just the Canucks continue to stumble. The only team in the NHL without a win, and Carolina 2-1 on the western part of the Western Canada road trip. Actually, 2-1-1. Sorry, they got a point in every game. Carolina is a really good hockey team. You can see watching them why they're going to be in the Stanley Cup favorite conversation this year. Jacobs, a lot of underrated players. Sebastian Aho gets his fourth. Seth Jarvis had a really good game as well, I thought. And the Carolina Hurricanes, well-earned victory, but just continues to be down in the dumps for Vancouver. I'm interested to hear where Sean and Tyler are at in terms of where they're at, because man, it's you're 8 points now behind the Vegas Golden Knights, who you thought you were probably competing for at least the third spot in the Pacific Division or the wild card spot. And Vegas is off to a great start. You don't have a win. You've got the Seattle and then Pittsburgh later this week. You've got the Jim Rutherford comments from After Hours and Hockey Night. You got the jersey throwing situation from Buffalo. And I mean, jerseys were thrown last night, but the frustration in this market for those that are not in this market is very real. And I mean, on Halford and Bruff today, they talked about, if you're going to do this rebuild, do you trade Pettersson, Hughes, and Demko? Does that be part of the conversation? Hard to imagine that Vancouver is in this position again, but that is where we're at with the Vancouver Canucks right now. Let's touch on the other games that are going on in the National Hockey League. It is another busy night here. Tuesday night. We had a Monday night that was busy, but we now have a busy Tuesday night here, getting ourselves ready with some pretty good matchups. And there's a total of, so we've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games tonight. So let's go through those. A couple of good rivalry games tonight as well. Let's start in Boston. Dallas loses their first regulation game against a very much improved Ottawa team, finding ways to win, growing. Really thought Brady Tkachuk had a really strong game yesterday, and the Ottawa Senators are growing, but we'll leave that now. But because the Stars are playing the Boston and Bruins tonight, you've got Jake Ottinger back in goal for Dallas. Denis Gurianov scratched again. High talent, interesting guy, but that's the scratch there. Linus Ullmark getting the start in for the Bruins, who will get Brandon Carlo back tonight. Columbus is hosting Arizona. Carl Valmucchio will get the start for Arizona. And Daniel Tarasov for the Blue Jackets as Patrick Laine returns into the lineup here for the Blue Jackets. Justin Danforth injured. He has an upper body injury. Devils and Red Wings. The Red Wings have yet to lose in regulation. They'll start Kevin Bolton. They're going to start Vitek Vanacek tonight. Mackenzie Blackwood will be the backup. They're going 11 forwards and 7D. The Common Cuba League having a great start for Detroit. Alex Nedeljkovic will get the start tonight for Detroit as well. The Minnesota Wild, who you have to consider a bit of a disappointment. I think a lot of people were a little higher on them. They're starting Philip Gustafson in Montreal, 1-3-1. The Canadiens 3-3. Jake Allen gets to start in goal. Colorado starts a Eastern Road Swing 3-2-1 against the New York Rangers 3-2-1. Some could say that is a Stanley Cup preview. Avalanche look a little sleepy right now, but they'll get Alexander Gorgiev playing against his old team against the Rangers, and the Rangers will start Shesterkin. The Florida Panthers, who, giving them credit, they had no Aaron Ekblad, Montour back, 4-1-1 against the Blackhawks, who are 3-2. The Chicago Blackhawks are 3-2. That's a bit of a surprise. Bobrovsky getting to start for the Panthers. Alex Stalock in goal for Chicago. And you got the Penguins and the Flames. Tonight, Sabres and Kraken. I think this is another interesting game as the Sabres sweep Western Canada. Do they go into Seattle and do the same? They're 4-1 to start the year. It's Eric Comrie getting the start in goal. Seattle's a hardworking team at 2-3. They're going to have Martin Jones in goal. Philip Grubauer is injured. He's got a lower body injury. It looks like he'll be out 2 to 3 weeks. Shane Wright also scratched tonight for this game, as well as Ryan Donato. That's interesting what's going on there. You got the Lightning and the Kings. Lightning 3-3. Vasilevsky getting the start against Jonathan Quick. And the Golden Knights with Phil Kessel slated to break Keith Yandel's Ironman streak tonight. After last night, they will play the Sharks. Aiden Hill will face his old teams in San Jose against James Reimer. And that is the lineup for today for the NHL. We'll just go through the injuries here. Here are some of the other ones that we can touch on here, as Devontae's back in for Colorado. I think he's a guy that they've really missed at the start of the year. Rock solid defenseman, but he's going to play tonight against the Rangers. He's missed the past 2 games with an injury, 3 assists in 4 games. Brandon Carlo, we talked about. James Van Riemsdyk will have surgery on Friday. He's out indefinitely to repair a broken finger. They could have Owen Tippett and Rasmus Ristolainen back in the lineup Thursday against the Florida Panthers. Pavel Buchnevich was placed on injured reserve with a lower body injury. The Blues have signed Tyler Pitlick to a 1-year, $750,000 contract. Buchnevich hasn't played since game 1 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And, of course, we talked about Philip Grubauer as well. And some CHL watch list came out. Not a ranking, a watch list. We've got Connor Bedard, of course, the 2023 Central watch list. The preliminary players to watch. Some of the other names to keep an eye on here include Adam Fantil. He's playing with the Wolverines, Dylan Duke and Maki Samsevich. Of course, we've got Bedard, Mativ Michkov. I think, a 17-year-old left shot center. He showed well in the last year, a couple of years ago as a U17. Braden Yeager. I think this is a guy from Moose Jaw you need to watch too. 4 goals, 8 assists, 7 power play points with Moose Jaw. He's a guy that I think people should watch as well. You've got William Smith from the USA National Team Development Program. You've got Carson Barneson, a Brandon, a goaltender. He was recently named a goaltender of the week. Michael Hrabel of Omaha from the USHL there as well. And he, a couple of so Bedard, Fantil, one guy highlights that. Dave Mitchkoff, another guy, Braden Yeager, and another name out there as well is Dalibor Dvorsky in AIK of Sweden's second division. There, so lots of names to keep an eye on here on that. As not doing the rankings, I think the consensus number one pick and the obvious number one pick is from the WHL's Connor Bedard. There are 43 players from the WHL on that list, and we talked about Bedard. We talked about Yeager. Riley Height in Prince George, another one I watch. Andrew Crystal, Burnaby, a kid in Kelowna. I've been high on him here. Caden Price, also of Kelowna. I've been high on him as well. Connor Levis of the Blazers. Caden Hamill of the Blazers as well. Madsen Letzi, he was named Player of the Week in the WHL for the Vancouver Giants. Austin Rhodes of the Everett Silvertips is another one. Jackson Unger, a goaltender for the Moose Jaw Warriors. That's some of the names. Braden Sherman from the Victoria Royals as well. So lots of interesting names to keep an eye on, and not ranked again, but just to watch there as well. And we'll just wrap up here looking at the AHL as and then we'll have one more thing here. Let's see what the schedule is in the AHL here as we get our look at what's going on there. Chicago beat Texas already 3-1. We've got Belleville against Laval, Syracuse against Toronto, Cleveland against Wilkes-Barre. That's tomorrow. Chicago and Texas is today, and then there is 6 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games tomorrow in the AHL. That is the news for today. Of course, again, Sean and Tyler tonight talking Vancouver Canucks. Maybe they get a run in from Devin as well. I know he's busy, but I do know Sean and Tyler will be starting 6:30 Pacific, 7:30 Mountain, talking about the Vancouver Canucks and what's going on with them. And we'll be talking Flames on Thursday. I will host that. We got Matt coming. We'll get others on as well. You can follow us all individually. Sean Beardy Canuck 03, Tyler TNOBLE. Devin Gordhow 09, Chris Schneid's SCHNAIDZ. Also Fireside Chat, give them a follow as they talk Flames. Their new podcast is out for the week. And also follow Joshua Griffith as well, as he did a feature on the podcast covering the Canucks and local sports. It's a 3-part series. They check him out at Joshua Griffith. He did a nice job with that. It included ourselves, Shifts and Pucks. And of course, you can follow on the Area 51 Sports Network. You can follow me, KEVULE, and Shifts and Pucks Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.